chat. Yo. You hear them? Chickens have their own mic, listen. Nugget's pecking the table. You hear? You'll hear them in a second, because Oliver will not shut up this morning. And Nugget won't stay off the keyboard. Give me like 2 minutes. Moxie! Thank you, thank you. All right. Chat. Good morning. Look at this. We're in the studio. Wow. And we have the chickens who won't get off the freaking keyboard. Are you serious? Ah! Good no, don't leave. It's not over. It's not over. Please don't leave. All right, we leaked the ending screen. Welcome to the stream. Sorry about that. A little mishap. Welcome to the studio. Chad, this is crazy. This is the first stream that we have in here. We did some decorating yesterday with Synac. We'll do a studio tour here. I forgot to bring a mouse pad, so mouse is on this. I have a headset. I have a little earpiece. We have new alerts up there. Look at him. Look how cute he looks around. If you gift subs feathers fall and he looks at the feathers. So, yeah, new alerts, new intro screen, Dion. Yo, Voyage Synths, Jen, Andre, Dwayne, Street Chemist, Lizzie, K-Zip, Hostbuster. Thank you for the year. Okay, so Oliver is probably going to crow again. He's been crowing since we brought him in here this morning. Just a fair warning, they have their own mic, and I have this mic, and I'm pretty sure the crowing comes through on both. So it's really loud. And I am sorry about that. But this is crazy. Okay, so this is the studio. Loch Ness set up the studio when he came here, I guess a few weeks ago now, and we just did this decorating. We got this table. Ella and I got this turf on the table yesterday with some industrial Velcro. It holds 15 pounds, so they're not slipping. These are actually really special decorations. Like, all of these are, well, one of them is my photo, and the rest are community member photos. We got, this one is done by Direwolf, who I don't think is here right now, but Velcro, what a rip-off. I was like, wait, what's wrong with Velcro? This one was done by Direwolf. That close-up up here of this female red-winged blackbird, that was done by Koopa Steve. And then these are also Direwolf's photos. This is a very special photo. I don't know if you guys can really see it, and I don't want to zoom in because I don't want to mess with the frame. However, does anybody know what this is? Does anybody remember this picture? Yo, thank you for the 5. Bungaloo, look at the cute little alert. Bean, that's right. This is Bean's release photo. I got it printed and framed. He's right here if you can't see it. I know it's kind of hard, but this is the day I released Bean. I took a picture of him in this tree that he landed on when we released him. And then we have other decorations. Look, we have a real dinosaur skull. Wow, real. Bunch of books. This is all of Noodle's sheds so far. This is Ella's deer antler deer shed that she found. And these are Noodle's snake skins. Pretty cool. And then we have, I just fricked it up. And then that painting up there in the corner was done by the tiger at the last zoo that I worked at in college. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a green footprint right there. So that is Seema's painting. And then there's some plants right here. And then we have the chickens. So I'm sure we'll like change these decorations. This was literally all done yesterday. So big shout outs to Synac and Crazy Slick Came, helping set everything up. Actually helpful, actually cool. I did like a bunch of errands yesterday. And shout out to Connor for picking this turf. This is the most dense AstroTurf I've ever seen in my life. So it's so easy to clean. Normally when we have AstroTurf, it like falls into the $77. What? Get off the keyboard. I don't see that. All I see is subs. Dono? I don't see a dono in my alert feed. Maybe it's backed up because it's a longer alert. Oh. Well, thank you for the 77. I'm sorry. I'll see it in a second, probably. We should have an alert for it. But yeah, these alerts are longer than my normal, so that's probably why. But thank you for the $77. Yes, your donations are going, obviously, to Alveus. Huge, and thank you for the $77.80. Holy cow, that was a long time ago. All your donations are going to Alveus today, but this isn't really a fundraising stream. This is our first real educational stream. We've done keeping streams here, and you guys have seen a lot of the development of the nonprofit, but the reason that I founded the nonprofit is to do conservation education. And I know I do a bunch of bits like here and there of education when I'm walking around and like teaching you guys about the animals, but what I really love doing is like presentation style education that's more focused, and I've really been missing that since we started. Also, like we just started, so I've been really hard on myself for not doing enough education, but it's a new organization. These things happen, you know. Gamer Wheels, thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. That was Oliver. He's pissed. 3-month plan, yeah. But anyway, we're here, and the first educational presentation we're doing is with the chickens, and it's Animal Quest. So this is a new series on my channel. The idea is to do a stream like this for every species that we have at Alveus. And it's also kind of practice for me to have collaborations with other creators. So like when I bring people here, this actually looks very similar kind of to the OTK Race to World First setup that I did with Asman. Jateau with the $50. Thank you so much. Because it works, right? The Race to World First stream was actually kind of a good setup. Ella and I brought our own table. And, sorry, he was right by the mic. It's literally right next to his foot. So, he's laughing at you. Do not. Get off the keyboard. Come here, chicken. Chicken, why are you on the keyboard? Great. So this is the setup for when I do collaborations. I want to be able to bring people in here and bring a bunch of animals in and teach them kind of like that Asman stream. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can Google like, honestly, you can probably Google Asman animals or like Asman Maya animals, and there's a video so you can click through it. We did an educational presentation from the Wildlife Rehab Center with Asman and OTK people, Esfan and Ginny and stuff. So, wow, pretty. That alert came through. Danza, thank you for the $25. So yeah, this is the studio, that's where we're gonna start. But Animal Quest, again, start of this series. This is like an experimental series too. I Thank you, space. I am very nervous for today. I'm very nervous for a couple of reasons. One, because we're in the studio for the first time. And two, doing education on Twitch is hard and scary. It's super worth it because of the demographic, and Twitch is an untapped reservoir for doing good, you know what I mean? But it's scary doing education on Twitch because I'm scared I'm going to lose people. To be honest, one of the reasons that Conservation Cast has fallen off so hard is because I just stopped getting viewership on that stream because it's really dense, and it's like an hour of talking about conservation and an hour of like educating people. But it's hard, to captivate folks and teach them at the same time, especially on Twitch, no offense. But a bunch of gamers aren't necessarily looking to learn about chickens in the ag industry. But here we are, and we're gonna try it anyway. So I really need your guys' feedback here. I wanna know what you guys think about the presentation. I've worked really hard on it. I did hours and hours and hours of research and spent hours and hours and hours on the actual presentation. My team has worked really hard. My social media team, Max and Iljix and Dion on these alerts and on all the art for this stream. Danny and Max together have made videos for this stream that you guys are gonna see pretty much at the beginning of the presentation. So let me know what you think about those. And Space and Lock, obviously, with all the tech and setting all this stuff up and making sure that it goes smoothly. So, am I missing somebody from my team? That's it, right? Sorry, I think that's it. Help. Stress. That's all. Okay, thank God. Imagine I missed one person. You got us all good. So yeah, I've also had help from Connor. Dobbins reviewed this presentation and fact-checked it for me. Fancy. So with that being said, kind of an experimental thing, but let's get into it. There's already a lot of people here, which is crazy. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really proud of this production of this set. I think it looks really nice, and I'm really excited to do more stuff here. It feels good. Feels good. Also, this table can go higher and lower, which is exciting. I think it's pretty sweet. But anyway, let's get into the presentation. So this is, I didn't know that mice were mice? It's magnetic kind of, so it's really hard to use this, but I can't use it on the turf, so do you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? It's the use it on your pants? Oh. All right, here we go. So I originally was going to do is this full screen? This is full screen. I originally was gonna do what is it called? A keynote, or a PowerPoint, and I found this website instead, and I think it's a little bit better. Yes, this is Prezi, but I think it's kind of nice. Chickens, I thought would be a good place to start for Animal Quest, because they're actually a really special ambassador. I know this is an exotic animal sanctuary, and these are not exotic at all, but this presentation is really important to me, both because I'm an ag major. I studied agriculture in college. I got a BS in agricultural education and communication, so this is right up my alley. Kruan, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. And second, because I find that it can be really depressing sometimes to teach conservation, because I can sit here for hours and hours and hours and tell you guys that all the lemurs are dying in Madagascar and they're cutting down all the trees. What the hell is anybody gonna do about that? Besides all right, well, you're aware now, and that's important. It is important, but it can be really demoralizing to not be able to do anything about it. So these are a really special ambassador because I'm gonna teach you guys about how you can use your consumer choices to make a positive impact for the environment. Also, note, I'm Lewis, thank you for the $25. This is all I did throughout college. Thank you, true. Is this educational style presentation. I find myself getting into a mode, a teacher mode, a presenting mode, and not streamer mode. And if it's too much, actually tell me in chat, because I'll do it without thinking about it. You get what I mean? And I don't want to start talking to you guys like you're kids. Like, I know that you chat and whatever, but when I start teaching, sometimes I just like, I feel like I talk different and I kind of go off and whatever. So, yeah, let me know if I do that too much. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Thank you for the 13 months. Again, donations are going to Alveus today. This isn't a fundraising stream, but I do appreciate them, and I do see them. I have an alert feed up, so thank you. But I'm sorry if I don't like say them or acknowledge them, but they'll show up. All right, let's get started, shall we? Before we start teaching you guys about chickens, I want to introduce you to our two chickens who are very conveniently in frame right now, actually paid actors. So Nugget is our first chicken, this one right here, and we're going to learn about her story. Before we watch this video, I will tell you a little bit of context. Actually, no, I'll give you context after the video because it kind of does it for you. Max made this video about Miss Nugget. She had to be moved out of the chicken coop because she was bullied, and she got moved into the parrot aviary. This is before we rescued her, or before we got her. All right, we're muting. Chat, the first time I watched that, I actually almost cried. When I heard he's stepping on the mic, so heads up. When I heard Mia's voice in that video, I was like, oh my God. So to explain that video a little bit more, even though I don't know that I have to, Max, you did an amazing job with that. Thank you so much. I don't know if Max has ever done animations before, right? Maybe I haven't seen them, but I've never seen him do a video like that, and I'm so proud of how that came out. So Nugget is from California. We got her from the same place that we got all 4 of our parrots from. And to be completely honest, to keep it 100p, I did not want her because I was looking for animals to start this exotic animal sanctuary, right? And I was going to California to pick up 4 parrots, Mia, Siren, Tico, Miley, right? And the lady who was giving me the parrots was like, we have this chicken and we can't keep her in the coop with the other chickens because they bully her. So can we please send her off with you because I think she really likes our African gray, which is Mia. And I was like, I don't want a chicken. I was like, I just don't want a chicken. It doesn't really fit into my sanctuary, you know, like I don't really know what to do with her. Where am I going to put her? And she was like, just put her on the floor in the aviary. She'll clean it up. It'll be fine, easy. So I was like, all right, like I'll take the chicken, whatever. And I brought her back and she gets along really well with the parrots. Damn it. She gets along really well with the parrots, and that's how we got Nugget. The chickens are going to poop on the table, but again, this turf is so dense, it's so easy to clean. Clean. Look. Sorry, Nug. Clean. Clean. So anyway, that's how we got Nugget, and we brought her back from California on a road trip from California in like April or something. With all the parrots. So yeah, that's Nugget. A little bit more about Nugget is her breed info. Okay, well, it looks like I'm talking about all of it right now, but I'm not. I'm talking about her. but he wants to be like center stage right now. So she's an Americana. Oh, you know what? I wonder where Ella is. She's right there. Yo, Ella.
Hello?
Could you bring me a nugget egg, please? All right. So this isn't about you. He literally has a section like right now. Nugget is an Americana. It's a derivative from the Chilean Araucana. This is the original chicken. No, stay. Okay, well, you're up next, so now you're just gonna have to hop back up here. He speaks English. That is an Araucana. In the bottom, they have those kind of beards, but this isn't the Americana. This is just the American version of an Araucana. And they lay blue eggs, and Ella's bringing me an egg right now. I feel like most of you guys have probably already seen her eggs, but they're really pretty. So Oliver's right by the door. She's gonna swing it in. Heads up. Nugget egg. Thank you. Chat, look at this. Nugget lays an egg a day. This is her egg. I'll bring it up so you can see it because it kind of looks white right here. She wants to eat it. All right. It kind of looks white with the light. Can you see that? Can you see how it's kind of blue? Yeah? Some of them are more blue than others, but they're really, really beautiful. We use these eggs here to feed our crows. Our crows eat an egg a day, and they eat Nugget's eggs, which is pretty sick. I'm gonna put it on the desk. It doesn't fall. So that's Nugget. That's who she is. We had her first. Okay, and then we will talk about Oliver. So, the one who wants to be the star of the show, that's Oliver. That's a real animation of Oliver. I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry. So, Oliver's story. This is the video that Danny made. Again, really proud of how this came out, and I will give you more context after we watch the video. Also, my cam is blocking parts. I'm sorry. It says chicks in a feed store. Raised by the K-Kona guy. It says olive egg or rooster, $5. Oliver. Oliver, come in frame. This is about you now. So, Oliver, this is the picture of, oh, that's not the picture, that's the video. Oh no. This is, no. Wait, maybe it doesn't stay. Stop. Oh. You saw it anyway. Chat, we're in New Org. These things happen. Okay. Did you see the picture? I don't know how to put it on screen. Yeah, okay, great. So that's the picture of when I got him. I went to the feed store to pick up hay and grain for the animals at Alveus, and Oliver was outside the feed store in this little wire cage in the direct sunlight with no food and no water, and it said Oliver, olive egg or rooster, $5. And so I asked them, I was like, I asked them why he was in there, and they literally call it their reject rooster cage. And that's super common because people buy chicks from the feed store, people buy chicks from Tractor Supply or wherever you buy your chicks from, and there's like a percentage guarantee that they're female because people buy chicks with the intent to get hens because they want eggs, or that's usually why they buy chickens. And so he was raised by people, obviously a hand-raised chicken, right? Look at this thing. He's so chill. Like, he's so good around people, so easy, so nice. Like, very much a hand-raised chicken, but he turned out to be a rooster, right? And they didn't want roosters because they want eggs. So they brought, oh God. So they brought him back to the feed store. Oh my God, Oliver. So they brought him back to the feed store. And I gave him a 5 in cash, and I brought him here, and I was really nervous because, ooh, Oliver feather. I was nervous about him and Nugget because I thought that he would bully Nugget. I thought that he might overbreed her, but they actually get along really well. And he's super smart, and so that worked out. So he kind of messed with my presentation. There we go, never mind. We're good, okay. So, now it looks like I'm talking about Nugget. What is wrong with you guys? Oliver's breed history is kind of interesting and kind of maybe not hard to explain, but kind of hard to explain. So, you look at like a Labrador Retriever, right? And they all kind of look the same. It's like it's a breed. Olive Egger chickens, which is what Oliver is, isn't like that. All an Olive Egger means is that it's a mix of a brown egg stock and a blue egg stock. The mom is a blue egg stock, so like her. His mom could have looked like Nugget, and then the dad is a brown egg stock, so it could have looked like that, like a Rhode Island Red Rooster, right? And when you breed those two things together, they lay olive eggs, or olive-toned eggs, which is so crazy genetics, wow. And obviously I can't show you an olive egg because he's a rooster, so he doesn't lay eggs, but that is what an Olive Egger is. All right, so let's talk about the species overall now that you know who these chickens are and where they came from. This is red jungle fowl, or Gallus gallus. It is the closest wild counterpart to our domestic modern chicken. They look very similar, but they exist in southern Asia, mostly in the jungles of India, and they eat lots of different things. They eat plant matter, they eat insects, flies, snails, even carrion, which is carcasses, right? What vultures will eat. They'll eat meat, they'll eat dead animals. So they're super, super opportunistic feeders. Oliver is literally on the other side of the room, screaming. So, because they eat so many different things, we're gonna see what our chickens like to eat by doing a taste test, poggers. So, I'm gonna tell Ella that we're starting the taste test. Here we go. Sorry, we're gonna start the taste test right now, if you wanna come out.
Okay, I'll be there in a second.
Okay, we're doing a taste test, and we have our dishes prepared, and you guys are gonna do a poll right now on what you think they're gonna like the most. Remember this slide? They eat plant matter, insects, and even carrion. So, we have those 3 things here. Stop touching the arrow keys. I don't know why they can't stay off the keyboard. We have those 3 things here today, and we're going to see which ones they like most. We're going to give them both a platter, and they're both going to do a taste test. So, if we could put a poll up here. Space is managing the polls right now. And we have grapefruit, that's our plant matter. We have mealworms as our insects, and we have mouse. Yes, as the carry-on. We have to wait until they run the poll anyway. He will not stop crowing. It's really annoying. Poll on screen. Get off the... Locke, she just opened something with like a bunch of numbers. Is that bad? What was that, like inspect something? I don't know. What is that? Leaked. Okay, so the poll. Wait, they kind of already know. You can type a 1, 2, or 3 in poll to vote on it in chat. So it's not a straw poll, it's on the screen. I guess we're doing Nugget first, that's fine. So we'll do Nugget first. Does she like grapefruit, does she like mealworms, or does she like mouse the most? It is, dude, I need my glasses. 50s. Okay. Yeah, oh my God. Please. All right. I would never think they eat mice. Believe it or not, they can actually... What? Why is she doing that? Oh, do you want the mic? She's never usually interested in my face. I don't think she's going for the microphone. What is she... Is she going for my mouth? Carnivore. Maybe my eyelashes. I don't know. The clicker. I don't even have a clicker on me. Okay. Is the poll done? Space. Are we good to go? She wants a kiss. Yeah, chicken kisses kind of hurt, I would imagine. 65% of people think, or 65% think mealworms, and then it's pretty close tie for the other two. We have mouse and grapefruit. All right, here we go. Damn it. This turf is really easy to clean. Clean. All right, we'll put it in the middle of the table. I'm going to do a little zoom in here. Ella's here, but she doesn't have a mic. Maybe I'm not going to zoom in. Wow. Okay, put it in the front, yeah. Oh, wow. Mealworms. Chat knew already. Amazing. Mealworms first. Also, Oliver's probably going to come up here and ruin this, and well, the mealworms are in the middle. Yeah, this is the mouse. I should have shown you guys the dish. I'll show you next time. Oliver's getting bits on the ground, and he's really excited if you're hearing that. She's on to the mouse side, but she's just eating mealworms still. Are you okay? He's just eating mealworms on the ground and freaking out. He's so excited. Okay, she doesn't care about the grapefruit at all. This is kind of giving away the answer, but we'll do another poll right now for Oliver. Same poll. What do you think he's going to like the most? They are different chickens. They might like different things. Actually finishing all of the mealworms. All right, everybody's voting the exact same thing. I mean, that's smart. Good job. All right, so now that she finished the mealworms, she's got mouse and she's got grapefruit. She's still just looking for more mealworms. What do you think? Not a poll, but in chat. Or is she not going to go for either? Oh! No, she found a mealworm. She's got a mouse bit. She ate a mouse bit. Okay, you got to turn around, my dear. Oh, she's got mouse spaghetti. Sorry, it's a little graphic. Don't worry about that. Oh, no. Oh. Sorry. It was exactly what it looked like. That was some mouse intestine. I had Ella cut up this mouse this morning for this activity. Very fun activity. Okay, the Oliver poll is almost done. All right. We're going to switch them out here. Unless she wants to eat. Actually, we'll switch them out when the poll's done. No, it wasn't a tail. Did you guys think it was a tail? I should have let you believe that. That's better. Yeah, that was a mouse tail, chat. All right, he's ready. Let's switch him out. So we'll get Nugget off the table. Let me show them this dish. Chat, here's Oliver's taste testing platter. Okay? We have our mouse here, our mealworms, and our grapefruit. The poll is done. 74% think that he's going to like mealworms the best. Let's find out. Mouse. Okay. Wow. He's really excited about this. Yeah, a lot of people don't think chickens eat mice because they don't commonly eat mice, right? It's not like a part of their diet. But when Ella, this is a lot of information. Okay. When we give Georgie a mouse, because he eats a mouse, Georgie's our African bullfrog, he eats a mouse once a week, but we skin the mouse to prevent impaction. And so we don't want to waste. So Ella gives the mice skin, or the mouse skin, to the chickens. Did he go for a grapefruit? Oliver's not picky. He's just really excited. He loves his food, all kinds. He's super food motivated. You'll see we have a demo in this stream as well of like their training. So you'll see how food motivated he is in that as well. Thank God the chickens have their own my account. He's eating mouse over here. Oh, you can tell. Yummy. Mouse. He finished the mouse first. That's actually surprising to me. I thought they would both go for mealworms. So chat, you were wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. How's it feel? Honestly, I would have voted the same way you did if that makes you feel any better. Copium, I wasn't wrong. Okay. Nugget. You can let her, yeah. Uh-oh. Look how shiny Oliver is too. I should have talked about that. He is so beautiful. His feathers are, well, maybe I can zoom in on his feathers while he's eating. They're iridescent a little bit. You see the like blue-green on him? Wow, what a pretty chicken. The lights really do him justice. I like it. Yes, everybody can make their jokes now. Yes, he's a rooster and he is black, so. All right. We'll just, honestly, I'll just let him keep doing this and she's back. She's going for the mealworms again. Okay, we're good. I'll walkie-talkie for the demo. Okay, so we're gonna let the chicken snack on these things unless Oliver's getting really loud and annoying, and then and then we'll switch back. I'm going to present here. We'll go full screen and we'll get back into the presentation. So that was the taste test. Taste test done. Success. The difference. So you guys saw the red jungle fowl pictures, their closest wild counterpart, right? Those wild chickens, they look pretty similar. They eat the same things, right? But what is the difference between those chickens and our chickens? And a lot of that is how we've bred them for our own benefit. So red jungle fowl, they'll lay 10 to 15 eggs per year because they have 2 breeding seasons. And like I said before, Nugget lays her egg, this egg, every day. Once a day. So our commercial layers will lay 200 to 300 eggs per year. That's the difference. That's what selective breeding can do. That's what selective breeding we've chosen for the chickens in the ag industry. So yes, nonstop Sag. Let's find out about how these eggs are produced because it's actually a really interesting process. Oh, I forgot I added. Oh no, you can't see. He's laying an egg, and then he's like, "What the heck?" But that's fine. So, laying an egg production. How lay egg? Okay. Sorry.
From hen to table, how an egg is made. The journey of an egg starts when a yolk that contains the unfertilized ovum is released into the oviduct. If sperm is present, the egg will be fertilized. Remember, a hen doesn't need a rooster to lay eggs.
She doesn't need you, Oliver.
Free-ranging on leafy greens and feeding a feed with marigold meal will give yolks a beautiful dark orange color. Feeds fortified with omega-3 fatty acids will make the yolks even healthier. As the yolk travels down the oviduct, it is covered by the vitelline membrane. Also added are the fibrous proteins, Shrezno, and layers of albumin or egg white. As the egg continues, it spins, which twists the Shrezno that forms strands on either end of the yolk. It spins like a bullet, anchoring it in the egg white and in the center of the egg. Membranes cover the egg and protect it from bacteria. The eggshell is then deposited around.
Not now!
It is made mostly of calcium carbonate. Calcium needs to be provided in adequate amounts in the hen's diet through commercial feed and supplemental calcium sources like oyster shell. Pigment is also added to the shell. Depending on the breed, the shell may be colored in shades of white, blue, green, or brown.
Blue!
Once complete, the egg passes through the vent of the chicken and into the nest. This incredibly intricate process takes roughly 1 day.
All right. So, that is how an egg is created. How long does it take? So they said it takes about a day. To fertilize that yolk, it takes about 15 minutes. To develop the white, about 3 hours. Shaping the egg is just over an hour, which is crazy. And that shell forming is the longest part of the process, and it takes just over 20 hours. So 24 to 26 hours, right, to lay an egg, to create an egg and lay an egg. Also, I just want to go back to the part about the egg spinning like a bullet. You ever cracked open an egg? Maybe I could show you. I don't know if I can show you. I didn't think about this. I just thought about it now. Yes, you've cracked open an egg. Hey, do we have any like clear containers that I can crack an egg into? Can you get one of the plastic containers, like the shallow ones that we got from the P.O. box? All right, I'm gonna try to show you, but we'll talk about this. So this 24 to 26 process for our commercial layers, the process restarts within 30 minutes. And it starts all over again, and in another 24 hours, there's another egg, which is crazy. They have, by the way, finished the mouse completely and the grapefruit. I'm gonna let them, because Nugget didn't finish her mouse, I'm gonna give them the rest of this one. I think. So the part that I was talking about, I think the coolest part about egg production is the way that it spins. And if you've cracked an egg and you've seen like a little spirally, thicker white part, it's because of that spinning action. Thank you so much. Because of that spinning action, right? So it holds the yolk in place in the middle of the egg so that the yolk doesn't, so that the yolk stays together. And when the egg spins, it creates that spinning like fibrous part on the egg. And I'm gonna try to show you what that looks like. And again, haven't really thought about this, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it or if this is gonna work, but yeah, okay, so great. Also, eggshells, it takes really long for them to create the shell around their egg, and oyster shells are a great supplement, but another great supplement is eggshells. Extra calcium. The more eggshells they eat, the more calcium they eat, the stronger the shell of their next egg is. So, you guys ever put an egg white or an egg in vinegar for a while and then it gets really squishy and like see-through? It's a science experiment. Like maybe no? Okay, well, chickens that have calcium deficiencies will lay eggs with like really soft shells, almost like a snake egg, But okay, check this out. I don't know how to show you without, I wanna like hold it up, but I'm gonna drop the egg. Do you see the white part that's cloudier? I guess I can try to point the camera down. Yeah, oh, you can see it? Look at it. Damn it, gravity. Let me point the camera down. We're gonna actually do this correctly. I F the whole stream. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna move the whole tripod. So, look at this. All right, you see that like thicker part of the egg? That is the part that holds the egg, holds the yolk in the middle of the shell while it spins through their system. Did that work? Cool? You know what else is cool? Is chickens love eggs. Yum. It is a super, super nutrient-rich food item for them. The eggs that we take from them are removed same day and put in the fridge. So it's not like there's a baby growing in these eggs. But yeah, everything that's in the yolk is enough to sustain a baby chick until it hatches. So it's super, super nutrient rich, and it's actually really good for them. Cannibalism, maybe a little bit. But we give them eggs sometimes. Ella will give them cooked eggs as well. I'm sorry for ads. I'm sorry. We run ads so that you don't get pre-rolls. Oliver's eating. He finished the mouse. But anyway, we'll let them snack on these things, and we'll continue with our presentation. Here we go. Okay. So. Okay. This part is really important, and this is the part that I was really worried about in curating the presentation. I want to teach you guys about food labels. Let's talk a little bit more about what I said earlier. So conservation can be really depressing, because I can tell you a billion times how there are exotic animals that are dying, but there aren't many things that you can do about it, you know? Or it feels like you can't do that much about it because they're so far away. And chickens, although not exotic, obviously, these are domestic chickens, you do have a lot of power in your consumer choice to make choices that do affect the environment in a positive way and affect animal welfare. So we're going to talk about animal welfare first, and then we're going to talk a little about the environment, and then I'm going to tell you guys what my recommendations are for purchasing your animal products, right? So that's the plan. Here we go. All right. You guys heard of free range, right? What does free range really mean? I think a lot of people think of free range, and exactly what it sounds like is that there are chickens in pasture roaming and have free range, right? But it actually does not mean that the animal went outside in its lifetime ever. Also note, I did my research for a lot of USDA regulations. Free range, this does also apply to, I know, to UK. I don't know about all of it, but this presentation is more geared towards NA stuff. So I couldn't do research for like worldwide. It was just too much. So I focused on NA, just so you know. But free range does not mean that the animal went outside in its lifetime at all. And it doesn't mean that the pasture that they had access to was not covered in netting, fenced in. It doesn't mean that it was like an open air pasture. What it does mean is that the animal has unlimited access to food and water, always, and that they have the potential access to the outdoors. There's a little bit of a loophole there. That's what it sounds like to me. And that means that there is a door in the facility, so they may have access to the outside. That doesn't mean that all of the chickens can fit through the door. It doesn't mean that all of the chickens use the door in their lifetime, but it does mean that there is one. All right? You understand? So that's what free range means. I put some of the free range labels that I've seen in grocery stores on the side here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these in your grocery stores, but to me they're the most common. But it can look like anything. I mean, any product you buy, it might say free range, but you don't actually know. Also note, this doesn't mean that all products or all producers do free range this way, right? But this is all that it means in terms of regulation. What does free range look like? This is a free range operation in Pennsylvania, and this is a free range operation in Britain. So these are the indoor facilities. They have a door in all of these facilities, but it doesn't mean that these chickens ever leave. That's what free range means, okay? I put that animation in there. Okay, the next label that I want to talk about is cage-free. Same thing, right? It sounds like they're outside, like not locked in cages, like doing whatever they want, like no cages to keep them in. But it does not mean that the animal has any access to the outdoors. These chickens don't even need a door. And it does not mean that there are minimum space requirements that are met per bird. What it does mean is that the chickens are in an enclosed facility with unlimited access to food and water at all times, and the animals are not enclosed in cages within this facility. So they can have the same amount of chickens in a very, very small space, but they can't have cages to separate those chickens, which can also be super problematic because chickens will fight and they can cannibalize as well. But this is what a cage-free operation looks like. This is Morning Fresh Farms in Colorado. You know what would have been a good idea is pulling up a Morning Fresh Farms product and how it's labeled. I'm going to rant a little bit about cage-free. Is it possible, this is kind of a lot to ask, but Locker Space, could you look up if like Morning Fresh Farms cage-free egg label? Because I want to see what it looks like in store versus what you see here. Go full cam, okay. All right, we'll see if they can do that. I, again, didn't think about that until right now, but I would like you guys to see it. So to me, cage-free is arguably worse than free-range because they don't even have the potential to go outside. And again, all it means is that there are no cage bars separating those animals. That label's pretty whack, huh? Let's see, Locke is pulling it up. That's not really what I'm looking for. I need a cage-free label. If we can't find it, that's fine. Sorry, Locke is pulling up things oh, cage-free eggs, yeah. Sorry, hold. Okay, well, maybe not, we don't find one, that's fine. But yeah, so that's what those two labels mean. They're pretty whack. It's interesting how they can find loopholes, and it's interesting how easy it is to make consumers think that their animals are raised one way when it's not really true. But that's what we're here for. That's what the presentation is for today. Okay, he's looking up one more thing, and we're gonna ditch that idea. But I was hoping to find an actual carton that says cage-free, because a lot of these cage-free cartons will have like pictures of chickens in pasture, and they'll be really colorful, and it'll say cage-free, ethically sourced, whatever. That's completely allowed. It's totally legal to do that, but it's also super misleading. So that's what cage-free means. Oh, present. So that's what cage-free means. And the last one is pasture-raised. The first thing that I would say about pasture-raised is there is no official USDA label yet. So anyone can say pasture-raised. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's what it sounds like, right? However, if you see the certified humane label, then it does mean that. I have a picture of the eggs that I buy. If I buy eggs from the grocery store, which I don't do it very often, but that's the label that I buy from. A lot of producers will use pasture-raised as a tag to distinguish themselves from free-range producers. It generally means that the animals spend more time outdoors than indoors, and that certified humane label is really important. I will talk more about what certified humane means, what that label means. It's like an external thing. It's not USDA, but people will get the certification from Certified Humane, and then they have to go through like inspections and stuff, and they have some different standards that make it more what you think it sounds like. So this is what pasture-raised look like. This is a pasture-raised operation in New York that has a Certified Humane label on their products. So that's what pasture-raised is, okay? But again, anyone can say pasture-raised. You have to look for those labels, but we'll get more into them in a minute. So we're gonna go into a demo here with our chickens. We're gonna do the demo. So I wanted to show you guys what we've been working on. God, they've pooped like 5 times on this table. It's actually crazy. This is something, to be completely honest with you, I still have yet to figure out how to phrase this. And I thought this would be a good place to put it in, but I don't really. One of the reasons that I have these chickens, and one of the things that I want you guys to take from it, is understanding that they actually have a lot of potential, and they're really smart, and they're really, really unique animals. I think a lot of people look at chickens and they're like, oh, it's chicken, like it is chicken, not it's a chicken. And I would love for people to see the value in these animals. Oh, no way. Ella! Oh my God. Ella's coming in clutch. Look at this. This is one of Ella's egg cartons. This is the eggs that she buys. Pasture-raised, and it has our Certified Humane label on it. So we'll talk more about that in a second. That's actually sick. Nice. Okay. So let's move everything. One of the things that I thought about when I was doing this research was me and Ella both love these chickens so much. They're like shockingly one of the most fun animals to train at this facility, and the easiest animal to train, I think. I think it took us like 3 days to target train Oliver or something ridiculous. First day, he was getting it. So one of the things that I thought of when I was doing this research was like imagining our 2 chickens in one of those facilities that I was explaining, and like how much I would hate it. And I know that you guys kind of get attached to the animals that I have on my stream the same way that we do. So hopefully you can kind of make that translation a little bit. Or that's the idea. But again, it's kind of an abstract concept, I don't know. So we're just gonna show you guys what they can do, I don't know. The first thing, this is a target, right? And then we have clickers. My clicker's over here. Clicker training, you guys have probably seen these. People clicker train dogs. It's a form of operant conditioning based on positive reinforcement. So they associate the clicker with doing the right thing because for a while we would just click and then feed them something. So when they hear the click, they know they're doing something right. And then we target train them so that they learn when they peck the target, they're doing something right. Wow, amazing. And they love lettuce. We use lettuce as bits for them. And with this target, we can do a bunch of cool things. We can lead them. We can get them to jump. We can get them to go through hoops and obstacles. We're working on flying our chickens as well, which is really cool. And again, this is something, I've had chickens all my life, right? I've raised chickens my entire life. And I didn't know that they were this smart either, or this capable of training. I've never tried it. I have never tried it until we got these two chickens, and I was like, holy crap. She's smart, and she goes for his bits when he drops them. So let's try to do a flight. Ella and I didn't practice this before, but we'll probably be fine. Let's do Oliver. Oliver. Wow. Oh, slippery. All right. He's never flown in here. There's not a lot of space, so we'll see how he does. Scary. Oh, she's getting Nugget instead, which is fine too. I'm fine with that. Wow. Look, it's like a hawk chat.
They weigh as much as a red-tailed hawk chat.
Yeah, they weigh as much as a red-tailed hawk is what she said. What are they, 1,600? How much are they?
He was 1060.
1060. Good boy. Wow. Good boy. All right, here we go. Pause, champ. Nugget, stay over here. Wow. Look at that. Okay, and also note that he's never flown in here before either. We should have tested it before the stream. But in the aviary, he'll fly like, come here.
5 feet.
He'll fly like 5 feet. They're not really built to fly. Again, like they're heavy. I didn't click before. 0.1 flight time. But yeah, let me call Oliver back and then we'll do the hoop. I know. We use Oliver more because he's more food motivated and he does things a little bit faster than she does. But she's really great too. It took her longer to pick it up though. Okay? Cool? No. Thank you, Iljix. Yeah, we have a video of Oliver flying on our TikTok. You can go follow the TikTok if you want. Alveus Sanctuary. No. We also have Twitter and Instagram. It's Alveus Sanctuary. Wow. Okay. We're going to do this fight with Oliver. He doesn't want to. He's going back to the table. He knows. Oh. TikTok is banned where I am? Really? You think she's going to? I'm just gonna now I'm getting this chicken. Okay. I would like to do agility with Oliver at some point too, because he's super totally capable of it. So here's the start to our agility right now. I'm gonna put a nugget on the ground. We'll get Oliver. Whoop. Wow. No. He messed with my presentation. Okay, here, I'm gonna hold this. Okay. Let me get Oliver back. Target. Up here. Help. Okay. Look at this, chat. Wow. I didn't have my clicker on. Incredible. Wow. Agility. Chicken agility. All right, you want to raise it? Raised hoop. Wow. You can go higher. Can you believe this? Have you ever seen anything like this? Now set the hoop on fire. Honestly, I want to make like paper fire and put it around the hoop because I think that'd be wicked. Oh, well.
He does that sometimes.
Hacks. Okay. Why is he doing that? Okay, he found the lettuce over there. Anyway, whoa! Hi! Wait. Do you want this? Good job. Holy crap, I didn't mean to take out that much. Good job. All right, well, chat, I mean, we can, yeah, raise it like quite a bit. Just see what he does. I don't think he's gonna do it. I just want to know. It's over here. Chicken nugget. I don't think we've ever had her go through the hoop before. See, she's too smart for this. She's too smart. Hi, Sit Mom. The hoop is raised. Problem solved. What's he gonna do, chat? Please don't. Just walk through it. Just walk through it. Yes! Good job. Okay, the other foot. The other foot. Nope. Well, that's a step up. We kind of have to do this until he goes through. I feel like that's really not satisfying. Okay. Try again. Wow, good job. Okay, that's the demo. A very small demo, but you get the point. They're shockingly smart and shockingly easy to train and fun to train. But who knew? Nothing crazy, you know, they're not talking or doing anything insane. But yeah, check out the TikTok for more Oliver flying videos. If he would get off the keyboard, that would be great. Cool. Okay, continuing on. Thank you all. Continuing on in our presentation, here we go. Oliver, stop. Yeah, I know. It's bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, so just to reiterate, I think it's important to show people. I know it's like not, oh my God, please stop. I know it's not anything insane. I know it's not like fireworks, but they're really smart and they're really fun to work with. And they're very unique and they have their own personalities. And I just think that that's important for people to see, you know, and really understand. So moving forward, let's talk about ag and the environment. So that was talking about welfare a little bit. We're going to talk about how welfare and the environment kind of are related at the end of this presentation as well, but we're going to do some polls first. More polls. Look at what Dion made. Look at him. I think I want these peepos to be like Alveus Sanctuary emotes. I think that'd be good for Alveus because they're so cute. Like, I want them. You know what I mean? But anyway, okay. Let's do crops first. So the question that I have for you here is, how much of Earth's land do you think is used? She's stepping on the mic. How much of Earth's land do you think is used to grow our world's crops? A total area equivalent to the size of 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can put a 1, 2, 3, 4 in chat, and it'll put your answer into that poll. That's how you vote. United States, the size of Iceland, the size of South America, or the size of Russia. I'm seeing lots of Russia is in the lead right now, then South America, then Iceland, then the United States. How you guys feeling so far? Yo, Dobbins. Dobbins, we'll say after the poll's over. Good, learning. Not too dense so far. Am I picking up too much of my teacher persona? Or does it feel fine? Summer school. No? Okay, cool. All right. Okay, poll's done. People think it is, here's a question again. How much of Earth's land do you think is used to grow our world's crops? A total area equivalent to the size of people think it's Russia. The correct answer is South America. We use a land mass size the same size as South America to grow crops for our planet. That is a lot of space. Okay, same question for livestock here. How much of Earth's land do you think is used for livestock production and animal products? A total area equivalent to the size of. Is it Japan, Africa, Australia, or Texas? It looks like Australia's in the lead here. What time is it? It is 1:20 in the afternoon. My Lord. Okay. Yeah, type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in chat, and that will be your poll answer. What do you guys think of the intro music? Danny picked it. I'm trying to help. Oh, I said Dobbins last time because I was in a Discord call with Dobbins and Connor last night, and Dobbins was fact-checking my presentation. So he saw it yesterday. He got the answer yesterday, and he still put a 3 in chat. But it's fine. He got it. Okay, people guessed Australia. So how much of Earth's land do you think is used for livestock production and animal products? A total area equivalent to the size of people think it's Australia. It is actually Africa. We use this much land for our livestock production and animal product production for the ag industry to feed everybody in the world. So believe it or not, agricultural lands cover roughly 37% of Earth's ice-free land surface. For a little bit of comparison, pooped on the table again, or for a little reference, the world's urban lands cover roughly 1% of Earth's ice-free land surface. So if that helps you to understand the scale. I don't think that people understand the scale of the agricultural industry. It is a massive, massive industry because everybody is involved in it. Everybody has to eat. I know probably a lot of you have never thought in depth, or a lot of you don't think in depth about the agricultural industry, but you are all a part of it. If you eat food, you are a part of it. So that's why it's so big. Last poll question we have here is about water use. What percentage of our planet's water withdrawals is dedicated to agriculture? 1, 2, 3, or 4. 10%, 50%, 70%, or 90% of our planet's water withdrawals is dedicated to agriculture. Are you kidding me? Are you actually trolling? Please. Okay, a lot of people are saying 3. This is for crop agriculture and for animal agriculture. Oh, my family's watching. Hi. Okay, poll's almost done. All right. Poll's done. 70% of you said 3. No, the answer is 40-something% said 70%, which is 3, and that is correct. 70% of our planet's water withdrawals is dedicated to agriculture. But why does it matter that we use so much land for agriculture? And there are lots of reasons, lots of ways that ag impacts the environment, but I tried to bring it down to 2 to keep it pretty simple and help you guys understand why it makes an impact. So the first one is water pollution. I didn't think through how close this was to my cam. So animal agriculture in the US alone, the United States alone, produced 369 million tons of manure in 2012. That is more than 10 times the amount of waste produced by humans in the US in 2012. I think the number is actually 13 times the amount. It is an absurd amount of waste. And what is done with that waste? In your head, if you don't really think about it and you don't see the numbers, it's used as fertilizer for our crops. Problem solved, right? But there's way too much of it to use as fertilizer. And it is spread over our crops, but it is spread beyond our ground's natural absorption rate. So there's runoff. And the crops take what they need, the nutrients that they need, and then the rest of it runs off into our water systems. And that runoff contains antibiotics. It can run off antibiotics from those animals. It contains chemicals, bacteria, and it contains nitrogen and phosphorus, which are the 2 big ones. The nitrogen and phosphorus that runs off into our water systems leads to something called eutrophication. And I have a video for it that'll explain what it is, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. Yeah, somebody said algal blooms. I mean, they spelled it wrong, but you're on the right track, bud. Okay, this video is super dank. I picked it because it was dank. I thought it was funny. I love this video because I am convinced that this man made every sound effect for it with his mouth. Okay. That one he may have run water for. Sad. All right. So that's the video. I did think it was important to put an animation in there so that you guys kind of understood what eutrophication was. Essentially, like you saw in the video, that nitrogen and phosphorus, which are 2 major ingredients in fertilizers, goes into water and it fertilizes algae, right? So algae grows over the top of lakes. It prevents oxygen from getting in there, and it keeps animals from being able to survive because there is no light coming into the water. This is what eutrophication looks like. So these are a few pictures of it. It is super dangerous. It's really bad for us, for our water systems as well, and it's really bad for the wildlife in those systems. People, when they think of impacts of agriculture on the environment, I don't think they think this far ahead, or they don't think about how it affects everything. It really is a domino effect. It's all connected, and this is what agriculture does to our water system. So that is water pollution. And then the next topic that we have is greenhouse gas emissions. I think that you guys already know what the greenhouse effect is, maybe, but I put a very, very, I put a very, very basic picture of how that works. There are lots of emissions from the ag industry that are Greenhouse gases. Agriculture accounts for about 10% of greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. That leads to climate change and is really poopy for our atmosphere. Poopy. I'm sorry about the ads. So that's on emissions. I think you guys do hear about emissions when you think of the agriculture industry. So, all right. So it's burps, not poops. Cow burps, methane. You heard of that? What can you do? So this is a very unique animal quest, even though obviously it's the first one. It's unique in that you guys have the ability to do something like today, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day, that can impact your environment and can impact conservation. And who would have thought that chickens are what's gonna be the ambassador that'll help you make those choices. So, because we're talking about chickens today, buying egg and chicken products, these are opinion-based recommendations based on my research and the research that I showed you today. For me, from best to worst, certified humane or American humane certified pasture-raised eggs. Again, pasture-raised in itself is not a label that is regulated yet. So, if you see pasture-raised, doesn't necessarily mean anything. Anyone can slap pasture-raised on a label. What not everyone can do is put this label on their eggs, because this is a third party, it's a different agency that regulates these things. I have more information on these labels in a second, but these are the kind of eggs I buy. It's not the same brand, but pasture-raised certified humane are the eggs that I will buy if I buy eggs. My second recommendation is your free-range eggs, because there is the potential that those animals went outside in their lifetime, and they're pretty short lifetimes. And I think that outdoor time is very, very important for chickens. You guys have seen the chickens outside. They love digging. They love finding bugs. They like sunbathing. They will roll around in the dust. They just love being outside, and I think that's really important for their welfare. And then the third and least attractive option to me is cage-free eggs. Cage-free means that they don't have any access to the outdoors. It means that they're in an enclosed facility, and it just means that there are no cages separating them, which means nothing. I mean, they can be packed into an enclosed facility. Cage-free means frick all, right? And then you're conventionally raised. If it has no labels on it, no free range, no cage free, no pasture raised labels, it's probably just a conventionally raised egg. That's even below that, but I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. So that's for chicken and egg products. Labels to look for, here we go. Okay, I just showed you the certified humane label. This is my favorite label. I think they're a really great organization. They require outdoor access for most species. So understand the way this process works is farmers, producers have to apply to get accepted to put this label on their products. And then they do inspections of their facilities randomly to make sure that they are, They do inspections of those facilities to make sure that they're keeping up with their standards. So certified humane requires outdoor access for most species. For the species that they don't require outdoor access for, they require environmental enrichment. You guys know what enrichment is if you've watched my streams at all. Literally ropes, balls, toys for pigs to play with, things like that. Like they require environmental enrichment for those animals. And they have regular inspections to maintain those standards. So if there's a certified humane label on what you're buying, you can feel pretty all right about it in terms of welfare. USDA organic. No conventional pesticides are used. Organic is kind of a hot topic. A lot of people don't know that much about it, I think. USDA organic does promote the conservation of natural resources. That's one of their agendas, to have an organic label. And then animals are raised without antibiotics or growth hormones. We have yet to talk about antibiotics and growth hormones. I'm very happy to talk about that. Maybe in the Q&A portion, I can talk a little bit more about it. Or should I talk about it now? I don't know. And then there are some standards for animal care required for USDA organic. I'll talk about antibiotics and growth hormones in the Q&A portion, which is at the end, because we're almost there. Then your American Humane Certified, again, obviously America, sorry. Animal care standards lie slightly above conventional industry. Animal care standards. A lot of people, a lot of activists, I'm gonna be honest, if you look, I mean, you can look it up yourself, this is not my opinion. A lot of activists do not like this label. A lot of activists think that it is misleading, and that you buy it and you think that the animals are humanely treated when in reality their standards aren't all that high, or they don't think that they're high enough. But I will say there are standards, at least some minimum space requirements, which is better than nothing. So if you see this label, it is better than nothing. But again, that top label is the one that I like to look for at the grocery store if I'm buying animal products from the grocery store. And more. So many things that you can do to impact the environment with your consumer choice. But I try to narrow it down to 2. And those 2 are reducing your food waste and consuming less animal products. Reducing food waste, 30% or estimated 30% of the world's food is lost after harvest. And products that are lost that are animal products, red meat, dairy, have a major impact on the environment. So it's a big shame that those products are wasted. So much bad milk, right? That food lost in transport, food lost because it's imperfect and people don't want to buy it because it's imperfect. You let food rot in your fridge, you let meat go bad, you don't eat everything in a restaurant when you order it, things like that. With the impact that agriculture has in the environment and how much space we use, it is a huge shame that so much of that and so much of the emissions that come from the process are just wasted and thrown in our trash cans because we're not, because we're just wasting it because people don't think about it. So less food waste. Consuming less animal products. Lower your own ecological footprint, tell producers, or let producers know that the way that our system works right now is not sustainable. And then you can choose sustainably and ethically sourced food alternatives. Note that people hear this all the time, and they're like, well, if I go to the grocery store right now and buy a pack of chicken with no labels on it, nothing's gonna change. Sure, right? Like, I totally get it. And it feels like your choice is very small, but we're also talking to like 14,000 people right now, which is pretty significant. So it is something to think about, and it's at least to feel good about what you're eating as well. Side note on consuming less animal products. Okay. This is really hard. This is hard for me. It's hard. It's a hard thing to hear. It is very hard, if not impossible, to consume animal products and care about welfare and the environment at the same time. It's kind of an either-or situation because animals that are packed into feedlots, animals that are packed into enclosed facilities, it is a way more efficient way to produce those animals. Animals in feedlots gain weight much faster, so their lives are shorter. They produce less emissions in their lifetime. There is waste that is managed at those facilities as opposed to being on pasture-raised land where it just kind of sits, in the pasture. So it is far more efficient economically, in a lot of ways environmentally, to have those animals in feedlots and in our conventional industrial agricultural systems. However, it's not good for animal welfare, generally speaking. My favorite thing for animal welfare is pasture-raised animals, animals that have access to outside, animals that have more space. Yeah, I don't know why the mic's breaking up, sorry. Is it okay now? It's fine. I can hear myself fine, so I feel like it's fine. I like animals to have more space. I like animals to have access to the outdoors, but that means it's a lot less efficient because you need to use a lot more land. If you want pastures, you have to clear cut or you have to remove trees, to put those pastures in. You have to have land set up for pastures. It disrupts wildlife. You can't have wildlife in like cattle pastures. It makes it no longer a natural system, so it uses a lot of space. And the waste isn't managed the same way as it is on a feedlot. Those animals take a lot longer to grow because they gain weight slower. So they produce more emissions in their lifetime because they usually have longer lifespans. So you guys can kind of see how animal welfare and environmentalism don't really go together in consuming animal products. So the only solution that I can give you is just to consume less animal products. My method here is I consume probably 70 to 80% less meat and animal products than I did even in college. And I consume animal products that I think are good for animal welfare, but I just consume them way less often. And I think that if you're gonna not be vegan and not be vegetarian, that's probably your best route. Okay. So, we're gonna go into a Q&A portion, question time. Dobbins. But also, I have to pee so bad. So you can do questions. I'm going to leave you in here with the chickens for a minute. We'll see what they do. You can do, it's the ask bot, and the questions will show up on screen. So you can do #ask, followed by your question. And that should work. I will be right back, hang out with the chickens for just a second, and then we'll get into a bunch of questions. But that's essentially that's like the end of the presentation. So thanks for watching. Hold on, I'll be back. Hello? What happened? Ah, fudge. He muted? What, the music? All right. He pooped on my keyboard. My Shroud keyboard. Shroud. All right, I bet we have some questions built up. Look at the cute little question box that Dion made. Space put in there. Isn't that cute? All right, how are we doing this? Because I need to pick the questions here. Are you kidding? I'm so sick of this. Clean. All right. Okay. Are you ready for some questions? Nice. Thank you so much. Okay. Is this a weekly show? Sneakus asked, is this a weekly show? Hi, Jelly Peanut. No. So it takes too long. Can you read OBS and see my questions? What? Oh, I can. But I want to pick the questions. Can you put them in after I pick them? Or I can like click on the one that I'm going to pick. Okay, wait. So we're at, is this a weekly show? And then the next one is going to be this one. And then, okay, so no, this is not going to be a weekly show. I swear, why the keyboard? Just anywhere else. It's a 6-foot table, please. It takes a really long time to make those presentations and to do the research. We have a lot of research. We have research for Siren, I don't know if we have it for Mia yet. I think for Mia, for the donkeys. I don't know. We have a few research papers. We have like 10 pages of research for each of our ambassadors, or that's what we're working on curating. And we use that research paper, or I use that research paper to make these presentations. So we have to develop those, and it's just doing it every week is too much. But I would like to do it like, maybe, I feel like I could do it every other week. Maybe. I think. Either every other week or like every 3. I don't know. It's a lot to put together. The next question, I don't know what happened to this question bot. It looks whack. Oh, are wild chickens a thing? So Raz asked, are wild chickens a thing? Yes, they are. Red jungle fowl, scientific name is Gallus gallus. They do exist in Southeast Asia, in the jungles of India. They kind of look like her, but they're much smaller. But they eat the same things. They're opportunistic. We talked about that earlier in the show. They'll eat plant matter, they'll eat insects, they'll eat carrion, but they lay a lot less eggs than our domestic chicken. So, yeah. Somebody said, when is the merch coming? So that's Andy Bell. When is the merch coming? That is a good question. So we have Alveus merch. This is Alveus merch. It looks like this, but some of them are like color. They're all embroidered. I'll show you. It's very nice. I have to wait until Miz's merch launch is all the way fizzled out before I release my own merch, just because our audiences overlap so much. But I do have a lot of samples that I need to ship to other streamers. I'm going to ship to LA probably tomorrow so that people can wear them on stream, so it develops a little bit of hype, and then we'll release. So within the next few weeks, merch will be shipped out. This is a question. Okay. Duh. I talked about this a little bit too when I talked about environmentalism and animal welfare and whatever, how they go together. Are you vegan? I've answered this question a bajillion times on stream. I'm not vegan, but I do not consume very much meat. When I moved to Texas even, I was consuming a lot more meat than I do now. I've like lost my taste for it. I just don't really care to eat it anymore. But I will eat meat like at a gathering or something. If someone serves me dinner, like I'll eat meat in it. I don't buy meat from the grocery store anymore. If I buy animal products, it is eggs with that certified humane label on it. I drink oat milk nowadays. I don't consume very much dairy. And yeah, so I'm not vegan, but the animal products that I do consume, I'm very careful about my food labels, and traceability is very important to me. I like to know where that animal came from. this is a controversial opinion, and I know especially for somebody that cares so much about animals and the environment, but I don't think that the problem is with meat consumption. I think that the product is with our industrial ag industry and its emissions, and I think that you can consume meat and animal products responsibly and ethically. You just have to know what you're consuming, and you have to do research to do it the right way. And we all need to consume way less of it. It doesn't matter if you do it, if you have labels that are good for animal welfare. It doesn't matter, if you consume the most or the least damaging products for the environment. We don't have a sustainable system with how many animal products we consume per person per year. We just have to consume less of it. So, yeah. Do you like trains? What the heck? Hang on. Okay. Peepo Yo, how are grocery store eggs so white and perfect compared to chickens at home? So chickens lay lots of different colors of eggs, right? I cracked Nugget's eggs, so you can't say. Nugget lays blue eggs. If Oliver was a hen, he would lay olive-colored eggs. There are brown eggs and there are white eggs. So our commercial layers lay white eggs. I think that's what's most attractive to the consumer. You can also buy brown eggs. I've never noticed a taste difference, to be honest. I don't think there's a nutritional difference as well. But those white eggs go through a pretty heavy bleaching and cleaning process before they're put in your grocery stores. So I won't give my birds eggs from the grocery, or I won't give them the shells of eggs from the grocery store because they're cleaned so thoroughly and I don't know what chemicals were used to treat them. So yeah, they're very clean because they go through cleaning processes. But that bleach doesn't go in your egg, it's just the eggshell. So unless you're eating eggshells, you don't really have anything to worry about. Okay, here we go. Yoaf, can you talk more about the growth hormones you mentioned earlier? Okay, yes. So antibiotics and growth hormones. I don't know, have you guys heard about that in animals' leg? I'm tired of standing, so I'm half standing. One of my legs on the table. Yes, okay, cool. So in conventional agriculture, growth hormones and antibiotics are used pretty heavily. I'm going to put them together, growth hormones and antibiotics. I know it doesn't say it in the question. But I actually have notes for answering these questions, and I want to answer them correctly. So antibiotics are, thank you. Purple marine conservation, yay. Antibiotics are used in animal agriculture, and there's something that is a very common practice called prophylactic dosing with antibiotics. When you have that many animals in a really small space, the likelihood for disease is huge, right? It's hard to keep facilities like that sanitary, and it's hard to keep those animals healthy because there are so many in the same place, and they're all walking on feces and eating feces and stepping on each other and blah, blah, blah. So they'll use antibiotics. Prophylactic dosing is dosing all of the animals at that facility, regardless of if they're sick or not. And growth hormones are injected into animals to promote growth. Antibiotics also are thought to speed up growth. This I would have to fact check, but there are people believe that antibiotics kill gut bacteria, which allows animals to absorb nutrients faster, which means that they grow faster, which obviously is ideal for producers. So all of the animals are dosed with antibiotics, and that can be a major problem for humans because of antibiotic resistance. We can develop, they're called superbugs. By providing antibiotics to all those animals, produce antibiotic-resistant bacteria and drug-resistant bacteria. And that bacteria can be spread to humans through consumption. So, yeah, that's why antibiotic use can be kind of dangerous. And then same with growth hormones are injected to speed up the growth of an animal, and those two I kind of tie together. So yeah, I think that's it. Liberal propaganda. It's really hard to talk about agriculture we need a lot more years of research to be done to be really confident about the things, that we think. It's hard, like even grass-fed beef is too new to really know what the environmental impact of it is. There are lots of people that think grass-fed beef is better for the environment, and that we can rotate pastures naturally, and there's holistic management, and do it in a sustainable way. But the truth is we haven't done it for enough time to truly know if that's true or not. So these are just kind of like my opinions based on my research, but I know a lot of you probably aren't going to agree, which is totally fine. All right. Okay, this is a good question too, because again, unique ambassador, not very exotic, and that is, you always say that your ambassadors aren't pets. What about the chickens? So chickens can be pets, of course. These are domestic animals. You don't need a special permit to have a chicken. I still wouldn't call these my pets, even though they can be. I'm not saying like not a pet, like can't have a chicken. You totally can. But I don't call these my pets. I call these ambassadors because of the purpose, because of their purpose. Pets' purpose is to kind of be like a companion to people, Their purpose is to teach people about the ag industry. They're an ambassador for the ag industry. They're an ambassador for their wild counterpart, the jungle fowl. So that's what the difference is. But yeah, chickens can be pets for sure. Okay. Okay. Energy drink Kevin said, I am just one person. How will my small action help? Good question. I kind of talked about this earlier today, and I totally get it. I have had lots of people, when I've had conversations about veganism and reducing meat consumption in college, because I had lots of those conversations. We would hold debates in my classes, right, about veganism in my ag classes. And so many people were like, the animal's already dead, just eat it, right? But that's a really short-sighted way of thinking of things. And there is a reason why almond milk is everywhere now, right? And there's a reason why there are a bunch of milk alternatives and dairy alternatives in the store. And that's because of demand, supply and demand, economics, right? Producers look at that, and there's a bunch of producers that are into almonds now and out of dairy. There are dairy producers that are getting destroyed because the almond milk industry is really coming up, and it's really, really competitive now. And that's because of supply and demand. People, if you buy, almonds do take a lot of water. That's another conversation, right? But if you buy product alternatives, animal product alternatives, there are going to be more alternatives that show up in store. I, for one, know when I was grocery shopping, even in college, there were way less food alternatives than grocery shopping now. And it's not like I'm going to a different grocery store, right? I'm going to like very normal, conventional chain grocery stores. There are more alternative products on the shelves because more people are buying them. So you might be one person, yeah, but if you're like clearing those shelves in grocery stores of those product alternatives, the grocery store is going to order more of those products to sell more. And when grocery stores order more, producers produce more. You know what I mean? Capitalism. Yeah. Okay. I'm not, okay. No, I'm not answering that question. Someone said, who's your favorite between these two chickens? I'm not answering that. I'm not getting a polar bear ever. So I was just typing that. Chat, who's your favorite between the two? I see a lot of Olivers. Oliver is easier to connect with because he's way more food motivated, and he's more interested in like interacting. But Nugget's the OG. We had Nugget first. We wouldn't have chickens if it weren't for Nugget. All right, Mortally Challenged asked, how long have you owned chickens? K-pop heart. I don't even know what that looks like. I've had chickens since I was an infant. We always had chickens growing up, at least like 10 at a time. So I grew up around chickens. I've raised lots and lots of chicks, but I've never trained chickens until these two. So They're pretty cool. Also, another fun thing about chickens is my family's nonprofit uses chickens in their program as well. They bring chickens to hospitals. My family's nonprofit is, it's like animal therapy for kids with special needs. Sorry, I don't know why my mic's doing that. It's like animal therapy for kids with special needs, but they use farm animals. So kids can come to the farm and play with the animals, or they bring farm animals out to hospitals, out to schools that have programs for kids with special needs, senior centers, whatever. And chickens are involved in that program. So they'll bring chickens out with like a little bed that you hold, like a tiny little dog bed thing, and the chickens will just like sit there with the kids in the hospital. They're really cool. So yeah, but that's where my experience with chickens started. Noah said, what's the percentage of the world that is impacted by it? If you mean like the whole presentation, I want to reiterate this point. If you eat, you're impacted. If you eat, you impact the ag industry, and you're a part of the ag industry. It quite literally, I know it's like a corny thing to say, but it is everybody's responsibility to change the ag industry, because we are all a part of it if you eat food. Unless you live off-grid on your own farm and you grow all your own food. Then I guess you're not a part of the industrial ag industry. But pretty much everybody else. Okay. Okay, Mr. Mountain Dew 12 said, would you recommend eating more plant-based meat products instead of eating chicken or beef? Yes, okay, interesting. So, ow, I forgot. It's literally, Sinak was like, you're going to run into that. And I was like, I'm literally never going to run into it. I know where it is. The shelf. So, yeah, for sure. But that's easier said than done, and that comes from a pretty privileged place, right? They're expensive. Recently, I bought Beyond Beef sausages, and there were 4 sausages, and it was like $8 or $9 for the 4 of them. And that's Beyond Sausage, right? And I was like, wow, that's crazy. The reality, though, of my experience is I started eating less meat in college, and since I started eating less meat, I crave way less meat. I grew up in a family where we consume meat every single meal, and it wasn't really like a full meal or like a fulfilling meal if there wasn't meat involved. Also, my family, though, consumed all of their meat from the county fair. So every animal, or all the meat that I consumed growing up in my household, was an animal that I either knew personally or I knew the kid that raised it, and it was all cuts from the same animal. That's a fantastic way to consume meat, by the way. If you're at like a county fair and you go to an auction, kids will come out, kids raise these animals on their own, and then auction them off, and you can buy like half a hog, half a steer, and then you'll get cuts from that animal, so you know exactly where it came from. Most traceable way to eat meat. It is very expensive as well, but that's how I ate meat growing up. Anyway, every single meal that we had meat involved. If it was a pasta dish, it had sausage in it. If we were having potatoes and vegetables, there was always a meat main course, you know? That's just the way that I grew up. So when I was switching out of eating meat every meal, my meals did not feel complete for a really long time. And I have gotten to the point where I don't feel that way anymore because I eat way less of it. So yes, I would 100% recommend eating more plant-based meat products, but I will say that they are expensive, and I think that you can't eat them nearly as often as you eat a pack of chicken breasts that's like $5, you know? Just eat more vegetables, and I really like tofu. And if you're really craving meat, then you can buy some plant-based meat products, but just know that they're more expensive. But there are lots of good ones out there. They're really making moves out there. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find another question. This is a good question. Stringless Puppet 33 said, when you talk about Georgie, you say that he doesn't need much to be happy in response to people asking how he lives in such a small tank. How is that different for chickens? So closest wild counterpart, red jungle fowl, right? Live in the jungles of India. They're constantly moving throughout the day. They're constantly finding food every day. They have to eat every day. And they're always moving, right? Always traveling. Animals like Georgie, he's an African bullfrog. They bury themselves underground for 10 months out of the year. They only come out from being buried for about 2 months during like rainy season, or they only come out during rainy season. So they truly do not travel, and they don't need the space that chickens need. Chickens have natural behaviors that are only practiced outside: digging, finding bugs, rolling in dust, taking dust baths, sunbathing. Frogs' natural behavior is to bury. So Georgie buries himself every day. So that's the difference there. We are getting Georgie a bigger tank though, because he's growing. More. I talked about antibiotics a little bit. And hormones. Cool. Josephine _ BB said, big companies are a lot more responsible for the effects than people. Why not bring it up? So I feel like I have brought it up a little bit. And I'm kind of saying, like, it's your responsibility, right? It's not your fault that the ag industry is so broken. But supply and demand, right? The reason that big producers are producing at a rate that's so devastating to the environment is because we're consuming at a rate that's that devastating for the environment. I agree that they could be way less shady. I agree that they could be, they could have way more integrity and produce better and care about their animals more. But the reality is it's capitalism, and they're going to produce as much as we will consume because they're in it for the money. So yeah, I mean, if your demand changes, the supply is going to change. And I'm not at all blaming the industry on you guys, but you do have an impact on the industry. You're the reason that the industry exists, but not necessarily not the reason that the industry is corrupt or broken. But yeah, you can have an impact on that. I don't know what that means. Wardaman said, what kind of toys do chickens like to play with? Peepo happy. Our chickens get puzzle feeders occasionally. So they have like a little roller, and hello? Sit. And we'll put mealworms in the roller. And so they'll roll things around to get food out of it. They do okay with puzzle feeders as well. Move the mic back. Why? I don't know. You're not my tech, my production tech. I'm not listening to you. Anyway, yeah, they like those. We can put balls in there, but honestly, they're not going to chase a ball like a dog does. We have a chicken xylophone. I'm going to start training them to use the xylophone. Oh, Locke said it. Okay. I'm going to start training the chickens to use the xylophone probably next keeping stream. So we'll see if they like that. And yeah. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? A lot of these questions are very similar. A lot of people are like, have the point of like, what does it matter if I do any? a lot of people are saying, what does it matter if I do these things, if everybody else is still wasting and eating animal products? And I think I've answered that as fully as I can. I don't know. Do you guys think that or should I try to talk about it more? I think it's fine. Okay, we're good. We got, what is it? Loving W. Isn't USDA organic a pretty flawed certification too? You can use inorganic pesticides for parts of the process and still get the certification, for example. Yeah, totally. So that's why I think there's a little bit of debate over organic foods and organic labels. There are actually 3 tiers of organic labels. 100% organic, if you see that, is what it means. Is what it means. And that's everything that went into the production of that product is organic. And then there's the organic label. If you see just a USDA organic label, that means 95% is organic, which I think is really silly and weird. I mean, 95 is a lot, but yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole product is organic. And then there's made with organic ingredients, and that means frick all, right? Made with organic ingredients just means that there's like a super small percentage that went into that product that is organic. Like Cliff Bars, you'll see it says made with organic ingredients, totally legal, but there's not many organic ingredients that go into it. So, yeah. Oh my God, there's so many questions. Are you kidding? I've been going through these so slow. There's so many questions. 500, there are over 500 questions. Are you guys okay? What? Okay, I have 2 questions that I'm kind of going to put together. The first one is Quacky B said, I'm reducing my animal product consumption for environmental reasons, but what are some ways I can reduce my food waste and footprint? And then there was another, Octave 6 said, as a college student, I worry about my finances first and foremost when grocery shopping. Totally fair. What can I do to attempt to consume more ethically produced animal products without going broke? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first question I said, Quacky B. I'm reducing my animal product consumption for environmental ways. I can reduce my food waste and footprint. Reducing food waste, as annoying as my answer is like, just don't waste it. Don't get more food than you need. Don't cook more food than you need. Don't get more from a restaurant than you're gonna eat. And there are lots of ways to preserve your food as well. There are lots of fruits and vegetables that you can keep for much longer. Lots of tricks to keep fruits and vegetables for much longer in your fridge. Anything with a root on it, your green onions, even asparagus, carrots, avocado, you can put in water in your fridge and they will even grow. There will be new growth on your produce if you do that. If you have berries and stuff, wash only the portion that you're going to eat at a time. Don't rinse the whole container because they will mold faster. And then, what did he say? What else did he say? Reduce my food waste and footprint. Yeah, just don't cook more than you can consume. And, you know, try not to buy stuff that you know is going to go bad in your fridge. So, okay, this one's tough. I worry about my finances first and foremost when grocery shopping. What can I do? Why is this happening? What can I do to attempt to consume more ethically produced animal products without going broke? This is not an ad, but I wish it was. Imperfect produce is a great way to get produce. I think they say that it's like 30% cheaper. It is really inexpensive. And you can order produce boxes. And you'll get imperfect produce, the produce that grocery stores don't want, that they'll throw away just because it's misshapen, or because it's like a carrot with like 2 legs spinning around each other, things like that, that they can't sell in grocery stores. That's a really great way to get your fruits and vegetables. And honestly, even though I haven't done enough research on imperfect and where they source their meats from, but they sell meat, or you can put meat in your imperfect boxes as well. And the reality of that meat is, you remember that argument that I said that the guys in college would say of like, it's already dead, eat it? That's meat that's already going to be wasted, or it's surplus. So you can get like bacon ends in imperfect produce boxes. You can get broken almonds. You can get, that's not a meat product. You can get bacon ends. You can get chicken strips, like the cuts of chicken breast that they'll take off to make it the shape that people want their chicken breast to be. And that's meat that would go bad, or that would be wasted, and you can order it that way, and I think that it's a pretty cheap way to do it. So you can check it out. It's called Imperfect Produce. That's the only advice that I have there. How do you deal with people who are very judgmental when veganism and vegetarian is brought up in a convo? For myself, I'm asked about why I'm not vegan all the time. Like, if you watch my stream, I'm literally asked about it all the time, obviously, because I love animals, right? But I also have a degree in agriculture, so it doesn't really bother me when people tell me that I'm wrong. But this one's kind of tough, because people are so passionate about animal welfare, and they're so passionate about the environment, and they're so passionate about their lifestyles. And veganism is not just a diet. I mean, veganism truly is a lifestyle. It is really hard. I was vegan for several weeks in college just to see how it was. It's hard. Like, there are so many things that have animal products. You have to constantly be thinking about what you're eating to make sure that there's no animal products in it. It is a lifestyle. And so people are really, really passionate about it. And the problem is that there's been kind of a culture created. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, similar to like religion sometimes in culture, and that's that if you're not vegan, if you're eating animal products, it means you hate animals, or you're fake, or you don't care about the environment, which is just not necessarily true. A lot of it is your economic ability to be vegan. A lot of it is not having enough information to understand why that might be a better route for you. A lot of it may be you actually are consuming ethically and you're very aware of the labels and you're being responsible about it. But there's also a massive backlash from the ag industry. My ag peers in college, and that was eat more beef, right? It actually has the opposite effect, I think, when people are super adamant about being vegan or nothing. It makes both sides really angry at each other, and it makes them both extreme. America, look at how that works. So I think veganism is great. I think if you can commit to a vegan lifestyle, it's wonderful. It's great for your ecological, or your carbon footprint, your ecological footprint. It's great for the environment. But we do need to let people go at their own pace. And as long as you're trying to consume less animal products, or you're trying to consume them ethically, or both, I think that that's great. So. Quality chickens. People are also asking me about like insects as an alternative source of protein. Honestly, I've done no research on it, so I have no idea. Sorry. Favorite Gatorade flavor? My favorite Gatorade flavor is, I switch this back and forth between red and blue. I'm trying to find a good question. I feel like I've answered a lot of like different types of questions, so I'm not trying to repeat myself. Space, are there any questions in here about GMOs? Because that's the one thing that I haven't talked about that I feel like I should. Are you kidding me? He just typed it. He actually just typed it. Is it a O? No, it's a 6. He typed a 6. Hi. No. Oh. Why are you looking at me like that? Sorry, all these questions are the same. I'm really trying to find one that's different. Ah! Plant-based products. Blah, blah, blah. Favorite Gatorade flavor. Again? You asked that twice? Why are you looking at me like that? I think she wants my mic. Mic? You want it? No. We should paint the mic red. Paint the mic red? That's a terrible idea. Do the chickens like Fortnite? What? Okay, we're just going to do a couple more questions because a bunch of these are the same. Okay. Tailix 4, a lot of people have asked about this, so we'll do this. Opinion on Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy on Netflix. I won't go too much into like those two films specifically. What I will say is I think that there's good and bad in both of them. And Blackfish, right? Documentaries like that. The thing that you do need to understand about those documentaries is they may be presented really well, but they're made by very, very passionate people with a opinion. And a lot of that data is found and used to represent that opinion. You know what I mean? And a lot of the data is good, and a lot of it is terrible. A lot of it is good information, and a lot of it is terrible. Because there's an agenda to all of those films. It's to change people's minds and to change people's lifestyles. So you need to be aware of that when you watch them. But I do think that they're important. Blackfish was super important for animals in captivity, I think. Here, Dre asked, can we visit the sanctuary? Unfortunately, no, you cannot. I wish you could. It's really fun. Damn it. It's really cool here. Like, I like it here, and it'd be sick to have it open to the public, but for obvious reasons, as a streamer, I can never do that because I'm not trying to die, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get swatted all the time. So no, you can't come here. Sorry. Spaghetti, you can put it up, Space. I couldn't read it that fast in chat. What are the benefits of GMOs, such as being used to increase crop production or to modify crops to require less water? Well, those are benefits already. GMOs, hot topic. GMOs evil, GMO bad. No GMO bad for you. I don't really know where that narrative came from. I don't know why. There are people that have there are full-on protests against GMOs. And I truly don't get it. Or I don't know where that came from or why. I guess it's a revolt against it being unnatural. But GMO to me is, I mean, one, you've all eaten a GMO. Everything we consume is like a GMO, or is genetically modified. And I guess the name is scary, but GMO is kind of like technology, you know? Like they can be lots of things. They can be bad, and they can be dangerous, but they can also be really, really good. And let's do a couple good examples. One, so Spaghetti said, increase crop production or to modify crops to require less water. They make drought-resistant GMOs so that you need less water to plant them, which is awesome, right? Good for the environment, good for our pockets, good for the ag industry. And then two examples that I like to use with GMOs are, one, the Irish famine in the 1840s, right? 1840s, do I have that written? Excuse me. 1840s. Irish famine killed over 1 million people. It's like 15% of the population, which is insane. And it was because they relied heavily on potatoes, and the potatoes got this fungus called late blight. And late blight was spread through the air, like through wind. So all these potatoes you couldn't eat them because they got this fungus. And 1 million people died through the Irish famine. In 2015, they genetically modified a potato plant to make it resistant to blight. It's called the innate potato. It's a GMO. Because since that famine, potato farmers have had to spray their crops with insane amounts of fungicide to prevent that from happening, to prevent that spread, and it's been an issue for potato farmers since then. But in 2015, they made a GMO that makes that crop resistant to blight. That is a GMO, which is great. Ireland wouldn't accept it, still hasn't accepted it. Ireland doesn't like GMOs, which is super ironic and weird. I just don't understand it. And then there's golden rice. I don't know if you guys have heard of golden rice. Golden rice is, GMOs is you take part of it, you take a gene that you want from something, and then you put it into, Dion, and then you put it into a crop, and you genetically modify it. So they took carrots. So developing countries that eat a lot of rice, eat like mainly rice, had massive vitamin A deficiencies. So they took beta carotene out of wheat, and they inserted that gene into rice, and they made something called golden rice. And that has the potential to get rid of the vitamin A deficiency by planting it where people are eating mostly rice, which is very powerful. Vitamin A deficiency causes like childhood blindness. It's a huge problem over there. So that's another potential for GMOs. GMOs have a lot of potential to be good. And like, if you look up, this is the example Dobbins gave me. If you look up ancient corn, like what corn used to look like, it was freaking like dinky. It was like that big. I don't know. And we've genetically modified corn to be what it is today. Pretty much all the produce that you eat is genetically modified in some way. They can make it insect resistant. They can make it drought resistant. They can make it so that the environmental impact of harvesting these crops or producing these crops is far lower. So that's kind of my take on GMOs. I think people are scared of them because they don't know that much about them and the name is scary, but I don't understand the movement against them. Damn it. They poop so much. All right, we're going to take 2 more questions. It's going to take me forever to find the questions. Fritz said, I missed the presentation. Is there going to be a YouTube video? I haven't talked to my team about this yet, but I do kind of think that this should be at least archived on an Alveus Sanctuary YouTube. Because I don't want it on mine, I don't think. But it should be somewhere. Chicken poop. why not? Because if that's the first video we put out on Alveus Sanctuary channel, it's not gonna certainly not gonna blow up. It would just be like an archive, which is bad for channel growth, but I think they should exist there anyway. Okay. All right, we're gonna do this question, then I'm gonna pick one to close it up, maybe. Mimi Vori, how do you feel about zoos? It depends on the zoo. My take on zoos is if you go to an AZA zoo, you're pretty much in the clear. Zoos do a ton of important work for conservation. There are lots and lots of species that would not exist if it were not for zoos. Even the San Antonio Zoo, they have a dwarf kingfisher there. They have lots of animals actually at the San Antonio Zoo that are extinct in the wild. They only exist in zoos, and they're involved in breeding programs in those zoos. Hopefully, with the hopes to re-release in the wild and repopulate those wild populations. They're absolutely essential for a lot of species. Same with San Diego Zoo, they have Frozen Zoo. They do a bunch of AI, and they're saving species. Going to zoos supports conservation. Yes, it supports those zoos as well. There are zoos that don't do well with animal husbandry, 100%. There are zoos that don't do enough enrichment. There are zoos where animals don't have enough space, and I think that's what people don't like about them, but I think they're getting a lot better. That's my notebook. My actual notes. So yeah, I think private zoos can be sketchy if you go to a roadside zoo. If you go to a zoo where they're doing cub petting and they let you hold a chimpanzee or things like that, no. But your AZA accredited zoos, she almost pooped on my notes, are good. Yeah, your Joe Exotic is not what you want to look for in zoos. Okay. What's the point of training a chicken? Let's put that one up. Okay, this is the last question, and then I'm going to close it up here. So the reason that we train these chickens is, one, for fun, for us and for them. I think they enjoy the time. I think they enjoy the stimulation. And two, it's enrichment for them. It gives them something to think about. It gives them stuff to learn. It gives them, the opportunity to interact with their trainers. And three, most importantly for this organization anyway, is I think it's really important to you're kidding me. I think it's really important to teach people how much potential they have, how capable they are of learning, and how capable they are of doing tasks and being trained. I think people need to see that there's a lot more there than people think and understand from chickens. So, does that make sense? It's for their enrichment. It's fun for them. They enjoy it. And I think it's important to show people that they're actually really cool. And they're not just mindless beings walking around the sanctuary. All right. Chat. 500K. 500K what? Followers? On what? On Twitch? Oh. Cool. Thank you. I didn't even know I was close to that. If you would ask me how many followers I said, I would have said 300K. So, cool. All right. Thank you for the 11 months. Thank you for all the subs today. Thank you for your donations. I don't know how many donations we've had because there's not a bar up here. This was the first episode of Animal Quest Chicken Edition. Yay, chickens. This presentation is obviously different from the rest of the presentations that we'll do because these aren't exotics, and I talked a lot about the ag industry, which probably isn't what you expect when you come to learn stuff from Alveus. But I think it's important for you guys to know, and it's really important for our environment, and that's what Alveus is here for, is for conservation of our natural world. So pretty neat. The chickens were great. Oliver was a little loud. We've raised $400 today. Nice, cool, very cool. Yeah, Oliver was loud, but he did really good. I do want to know, before I get offline, it seemed like there were a lot of people here. It seemed like it was pretty successful, but what do you think wasn't? Like, what should I do differently for next time? The next one I think is going to be a parrot. Oh, okay, Dion for sure. Fix the mic. Do a quiz. More birds. Just tech issues. Okay, so tech issues are fine. I think we can already figure that out. But in terms of content, like, do you think there should be move the cam? Questions were keyboard placement. Okay. Make the Q&A all what? What about the Q&A? Make it shorter. Do less questions. Okay, less questions. Second cam. Wear a vest. More camera angles. We could do another camera potentially. And then in terms of the presentation, did it get too dense at times? Were you guys like lost? No? Okay. Good. Do you feel more informed? Do you feel like that's something that's going to matter to you now at all? Maybe another interactive segment? I agree. I think the interactive segments are really important. Lamau, no. But there are a bunch of yeses. And then the other thing that's really hard is making that translation from these animals to the ones that you're eating. You know, like I don't at all expect people to look at the chicken that they're eating and be like, oh, Oliver, right? Like, not like that. But I do want people to think twice about throwing it away. And I want them to see, like, that we have multiple chickens and they're all so different. So you have to imagine that the chickens, you know, in those operations as well, are really special and obviously deserve excellent welfare. Truly. I mean, these chickens experience excellent. I'm very, very proud of our enrichment program and our training program for these chickens and their enclosure and how they're treated. And I love them so much. I love these two so much, and I just can't imagine giving them less. And if I had any other chicken, I would feel the exact same way about it, you know? And so I hope that you can think about that, because I know you guys like them a lot too. I hope you can think about that, you know, in your purchases. So, yeah, that's kind of the point of all of this today. The next presentation, I think broken leg. Does it look that weird? I'm just like stretching. I have to take weight off of one of my legs. Leg. Is this less weird? Leg. I don't know what the next presentation is going to be. I think it might be a parrot. I might do siren. Get a high chair. I need a stool in here for sure. I work at Chick-fil-A. That's okay, man. That's okay. The hard thing about conservation is if you learn enough about it, you will always feel like a piece of crap. But you do what you can, you know what I mean? You learn a little bit more, you become a little more aware, and you do what you can. Everybody has an ecological footprint, you know? So it's okay. It is okay if you work at Chick-fil-A. You know, just make choices in your own life. Little things. It's little things. This went really well. I'm really proud of how this went in terms of production, in terms of content, in terms of viewership, in terms of chat. I feel pretty good about it. I'm going to watch it back and make sure that I'm still happy with it. But I'm really excited about this series. Thank you for being here. I'm really happy to be doing more education because that's what Alveus is for, is education, and it's been bothering me that I felt like I haven't been doing enough of it. So I'm glad that I did some of it today, and I'm glad that you guys learned stuff and that it wasn't super boring. I tried so hard to make it not boring. So thank you for watching, and thank you to my team for helping me with all this too. Obviously, as always, could not do it without them. Danny, Max, Iljix, Lock, Space, Dion. Incredible team, and good stream. I'm going to check out who to host right now. And everybody say Peepo hey to Erica. She's watched this whole thing. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Bye. Should I host our chicken life? Probably wouldn't be a good use of a host. I could host Slicker. All right. I'm going to host Slicker. It's been a while. Host. It's Slicker. Okay, it is Monday. That means I won't see you tomorrow, but I will see you on Wednesday morning for a keeping stream. And that's the next time I'll see you on my stream. I'll probably see you on other streams before then. Erica's my sister, by the way, if I didn't already say that. I think people already know. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow Alveus, if you want to keep up with them, you can follow Alveus Sanctuary. It's the same thing everywhere. Alveus Sanctuary, ALVEUS, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. And I would really appreciate that. We just had a photographer come out who's a freelance photographer in Austin. He came out and took a bunch of pictures pro bono for us. And so there are going to be a lot of really, really good pictures that are going to go up on our socials soon. No, it was not Afro. Afro did come too, though, but it was a different guy. They're really good pictures. We have a wish list as well. There are items for the chickens on the wish list right now, actually. We have an Amazon wish list and a P.O. box. You can do Command WL if you want to send the animals a gift. There's food on there. There's toys. I think there are mealworms on there. If they're not, I'll add them right after stream because you saw how much the chickens love mealworms, and we are running out. So if you want to buy stuff from the wish list, lots of stuff on there that we need. There's also stuff that me and Ella need for general keeping. We have like bleach on there, sponges, like your things that we need to keep this place up and running. And our P.O. box, we do a P.O. box opening the first Sunday of every month. So the next one will be the first Sunday of September. The first Sunday of September will be the next P.O. box stream. We do it with the parrots, so you guys get to see the gifts open up on stream. It's a really cool way to contribute if you're not wanting to donate to Alveus directly. And Twitch is an untapped reservoir for doing good. This is really cool. I appreciate it a lot. I'm going to gear up this raid and get offline. Big drakes and hearts in chat for the chickens for being fantastic today. Incredible on stream, their first spotlight stream experience. They did incredible. So they're just chilling, like grooming themselves. I was worried we were going to have to take a lot of time to get them used to the studio before we could do anything. But we walked them in here yesterday. I think they like the AC because they just chill out. Like they're so happy and comfy in here. So they made it really easy for us. But yeah, we'll do more of these. I'll probably keep using Prezi because I like the format of the presentation. Feather. If you're new here, you can follow my channel. Feather. And thank you for being here if you're new here. Thank you for watching. Okay, bye chat. I'll see you on Wednesday morning. Okay, bye.